Hello, everybody. Welcome to Beat the Banks. I'm your host, Professor Chris. And, well, what should we talk about? uh, a lot to talk about, actually. Got the wrong window open. 1 second. Let me fix that. That's because it's over here. Might as well talk about it. Sorry. Let me grab everything I need to here. Hope everyone's having a great week. It has been an interesting time. There we go. Let me choose this one. Be a little bit of a better view. There we go. So, we're going to talk about a couple things today. Title of the thing is the magic of daily compound interest. It's a good topic. Something that works out really well in the world of decentralized finance. So, I wanted to lead with this just because I want to say shout out to everyone at Binance shattering the previous all-time high for BNB. Love to see it is what I said on a call. We just had one of our mastermind calls a couple hours ago about about this change, because it's and I was just talking about it. It wasn't that long ago that we were really looking at the possibility of $205 for BNB. There's a magical number, and we won't call it magical, but back when the liquidations and whatnot were happening, we got close to that 205 number. And if there's still a gigantic blockade of people who'd be liquidated at 205, I'm pretty sure that's gone now, but they might still be there. But we're a long way away from that, just like we're a long way away from $8 Solana, right? This is a very interesting time to be in the market. US government is shut down. Both sides of the aisle have kind of dug their heels in. Regardless of how you feel about politics, there's some interesting stuff happening in the White House in the wake of this. Plays into a lot of things that they're looking to do. So, I mean, I feel bad for people who are federal workers who are affected by the shutdown. Frankly, that's a reason why I have been hesitant to actually get back into government work, just because of things like this. Um, Thoughts go out to all of them who are currently affected by furloughs or actual reduction in force orders, and now you're kind of looking for something else. Hopefully, you get to get back on your feet fairly quickly. But you couldn't tell that to the market with regards to how the market is looking right now, because we have seen straight up and to the right 11.5% for BTC and ETH over the last couple of days. XRP reclaiming $3. Again, BNB just smashing through that all-time high. Solana back up to 230. We're seeing a lot of risk on assets really just start to eat the green candles and go upwards. So it's a good sign. It's a good sign. So it's not alt season, because we're still getting price discovery for Bitcoin, right? Still getting price discovery for Ethereum. Thankfully, it woke back up from being back in the 2000s and stopped being a lagging a lagging participant in the BTC ETH trade, right? BTC dominance possibly could go back up towards 70%. We'll see exactly what happens, but overall, we're seeing a lot of great things. I think the stable coins getting over 300 billion now in market cap. Shout out to Patrick Scott from Dynamo DeFi for putting that out there. Coinbase was at so Token 2049 is this week, or they just ended in Singapore, and world's largest crypto conference. And they were talking a lot about not only the rise of institutional crypto, but also the rise of stable coins continuing to rise. Coinbase believes that there's going to be $3 trillion of market cap coming soon for stable coins. That's a very pointed number, right? That's a very large number because it's been a fight to get up to 300 billion with stable coins at this point. So the ability to be in a situation where we're going to have 3 trillion in stablecoin market cap is going to be huge. I'm going to be very interested to see how that works into a lot of uh, world economies and their plans. The one thing we talked about on Wednesday, if you don't watch our Wednesday show, we've been doing our Total Value Lock show since, the form of it, since December of 2021, where we try and educate you on the news. To me, the biggest news of the week was this. Not that. This. Consensus and Linea layer 2 blockchain, zero knowledge proof, EVM Validium. Still not the same one, but this chain. This is the blockchain that Swift has decided to create a blockchain-based ledger on. That's Swift, the one that central banks use across the world to move money between world economies. For all of you bankers and people in the banking industry who think that crypto is the absolute shits and it's not going anywhere, this is a wake-up call, guys. This should be a huge wake-up call for you, because not only are they looking to work with blockchain, they're doing it. Working and doing are two different things. Thinking about it, no, they're doing it, and they're doing it on Linea of all places. I was shocked because I thought this was a shoe-in for XRP. Literally, should have been. I'm surprised. I'm shocked that it's not XRP. Kind of tells me some things. If they didn't decide to choose with the XRP ledger and they chose an Ethereum Validium chain instead, a layer 2 one at that. A lot of good things happening with Linea. Shout out to Declan Fox, head of ecosystem for them, as well as to Joe Lubin, one of the original founders of Ethereum. So 30 banks are participating in this, 30 plus. You can see their names here. These are big names in the banking industry, guys. These aren't just small banks. I mean, you've got ANZ, you've got BBVA, Bank of New York Mellon, well, just BNY, but Citi, B of A, Santander, Deutsche Bank, Credit Agricole, Societe Generale. They're doing DeFi things at SG, by the way. They're working with Morpho with their Mika stablecoins. So we're seeing big banks working in this collaboration. So this is big news. So again, I keep telling you guys, now is the best time to get into DeFi. Why? Because all of this is happening. You can build up. We're getting new launches. Q4 is going to be gangbusters with regards to airdrops. But there's going to be a lot of farming right now. In fact, the best farming that's out there right now, guys, outside of some crazy pools like this one that I just popped into on Beefy for giggle from CZ's, YZ Labs, Wrap Bitcoin. That's a 30% daily APR. Is it real? I have no idea. Is it sustainable? Of course not. But literally, I just put in $5.36 just to test it out because it was so volatile. I'm already up 26 cents on $5. Granted, doesn't mean a ton, right? The price could just go the price could just go stupid nasty, and then suddenly I'm also, why is cake up? Love it. But yeah. Anyway, Giggle's doing some fun things. God Candle here. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer. Yeah, God Candle here. This morning, and now we're moving upwards again. And this is Giggle Fund is from CZ and YZ Labs. So this may fly over a lot of people's heads. Longtime fan of Beefy. We've we talked to them a lot during the beta process for their CLM process. CLM is great for having an auto compounding, auto rebalancing concentrated liquidity pool for long assets. So if you are long on charts like this, if you're long on charts like Aster, frankly, easy play. GG, easy play. Easy peasy. So anyway, how long is this sustainable for? No idea. I'll be honest. It all depends on how this chart looks. As long as it's flat, as long as it's up and to the right, easy peasy play. Of course, you can cash out whenever you like. But this is an auto compounding, an auto rebalancing position. Last harvest 5 minutes ago, they generally just do daily compounding once a day. But anyone can compound it. You just have to pay for the gas. So that's kind of the magic of DeFi with daily compounding. And that's the reason why a lot of people are really excited about getting into DeFi, right? My internet's super slow, which is crazy because I have 2 gigabit. Anyway. Tell me a bank that can replicate this. It was 15% 3 days ago, but regardless, there's 37 million in the pool. And this is on Arbitrum. If I was on mainnet, it's probably better. Do we have anything on mainnet with Earn? 11 with 30 with turtle rewards. How about AVAX? AVAX is doing some things. 11 on Earn. How about Lend? 33.5 still on Keyring. Only at 80% utilization. So we're below the kink. So if more things happen and you go above the kink rate and you get, that's going to send the rate for this fairly high. Again, when I talk about DeFi savings accounts, I'm talking about putting your money into a position that's single-sided. No one have to worry about a permanent loss. They're not in an LP. And it's an auto compounding position where you earn rewards. Easy peasy, right? Tell me a bank that can do this. Go ahead. I'll wait. It may take me a while. A lot of people ask if these rates are real. They're absolutely real. Come and check out our free group. Set up your own wallet using Rabby, Brave browser. Come down and check it for yourself. I do these trainings every Friday. I've done them since January of 2022 at this point, guys. Where we set up positions like these, oftentimes with just $5. Why? Because I want to show you guys it's that accessible. You're going to need a CEX account. Most people have a Coinbase. You may not have a Coinbase account. You may have a Kraken account, Crypto.com account. All you have to do is be able to withdraw money that you purchase on an exchange. At this point, there's newer things coming out where you can fund that and get it down to your Rabby wallet. Get in, start earning a better rate than you will anywhere else on the planet here in DeFi. 12% here. Let's look at Camino. Lend. What's this? Wow. Nearly 50% on this, but a lot of it is not from the reward. This is just from taking your money. So they're doing what banks do. See that? So how this works, guys, is you come down with your capital, stablecoin generally, because they want USDC in this, which is a stablecoin. Stablecoin is just a digital asset whose value is pegged to in this case, $1. So 1 for 1. 1 USDC general means $1. $1. Looks like they take your assets and then they put them into more than 49 other collateral plays. So you actually earn off of each of these collateral plays. It comes back to you in the form of yield. Now, there's not a ton of money in here yet. So yes, this should go down as more money comes in. Some of these others, like cash earned from Phantom, wow, 17% for that, for with nearly 18 million in the pool. That's great. This launched 2 days ago, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So good for them. The vault profile is aggressive, so it's meant to be a little bit more of an aggressive play. But you're coming in with stable coins. It's no different than having, like for example, Acorns. If you're familiar with that app, you put in a certain amount per month, and you have a stock profile or a dividend profile. They put your money in, and you're just earning off of that. In some cases, it could be as high as like 4%. Better, right? But it's good to have multiple sources of investment liquidity income. So yes, continue to look at real estate, continue to look at rentals, continue to look at dividends, annuities, mutual funds. Does crypto outperform the majority of those? Yes. Should you be all in on crypto? No. You should have a diversified portfolio. Absolutely. But this is great. This is good to see. Up to 50 now. Yeah, we have a report that comes out weekly that I put together with the best rates in DeFi. I'm definitely going to put this on here because I had not seen this until just now. Interest generated. So it's just going to get better over time because there's more interest to earn yield from. Nice. Again, this shows beat the banks, right? So we'll talk about this from that lens. Essentially it's really just about trying to get you to see the potential of the majority. And again, these are stablecoin yields. We're not dealing with assets with directional exposure, right? We're not looking at Ethereum or Bitcoin to put into this where you possibly could lose some of your Bitcoin or some of your BTC. We're talking about actual stablecoin yields. Now, do they actually have directional assets? I know they do for Solana. So this is the Ale Sol. Yeah, that one's the best one so far. Yeah. Ale Sol at 6.5%. That's not a bad rate, just so you guys understand that. It's not a terrible rate. They take your Solana, they put it in these positions, and they just kind of go ham with it. And you get that rate based off of that. Is it the best rate you can get on your Sol? No. You can stake it, I think, for like 10%. But there's some others. There are multiple plays you can do to get better than 6% on Sol. But if you're looking for multiple ways to diversify the bag, so you're not all in on one protocol, which you shouldn't be anyway, you shouldn't be all in on one protocol, guys. You should have a balanced approach. Diversify the holdings. Have buckets. Don't overinvest because this is still an unregulated industry, guys. In fact, I don't know if it'll ever be truly regulated, right? Because nobody owns this. That's the beauty of DeFi. No single country owns this process. It's all decentralized. It's meant to be that way. So, Let me grab a graphic. While I do that, you can look at bubbles. Just kind of see from a monthly perspective. Yeah, I don't like that. From a daily perspective. Actually, let's do this. Weekly perspective. That's probably better. Oh, Zcash. I know what you guys are doing. All right. Let me grab this. Let me grab this photo. Let me see if I can find it first of all. Because it's a really great way to describe. I apologize. My allergies are terrible. The beauty of daily compound interest. Because really, that's what it's all about. Let me see if I can find something here. I apologize for the dead air, guys. Hopefully, you're having a great day. That'll do. It's not the exact one I was going to use, but this will do. Now, this is a bit extreme, right? But the idea that if you have $1,000, even $100, that's daily compounding in a position that gains, let's just say it's 30%. Let's be realistic. Let's go to Beefy. Let's clear the deck. We'll go into single. We'll go in current APY. Let's choose one that makes sense. Fine. This is a stable coin called AUSD, Agora dollar. It's on Silo. Is this going to be the total APY? The 16-day average is roughly about 18%, which is pretty good, I'd say. Let's say that you stay in this and it compounds daily at 16%. Just kind of think about how much yield that is and then having it reinvested into your position. Think about daily how that's going to snowball. That's the beauty of compound interest, daily compounding interest. And that's something to keep in mind when we're here. It's not like it's an annual compounding thing. Sorry, I got some really great chat here in retake. Shout out to you guys. But just the beauty of it is what's key. I can tell you that the majority of people that have tons of money in my network are easily 40% in stablecoins. In very, I wouldn't say low performing positions, but they like 10 to 15%. If they can get more than that, that's great. But having sustainable yield, in positions like that where they're earning 4 to 5 figures passively, is the way to go. Now, do they like to play the trenches? Absolutely. What are they using with that? 2% of their portfolio tops, 2 to 5. And yeah, being in here, letting time do the heavy lifting, probably the key, right? This is like really large. You're just not going to get, even if you had like 200% that persisted for that long. Can we find one that's been around that long? I would say no. If there's any position, in my opinion, that probably has a shot to do that. But even then, it's not normal. So right now, And again, AVAX has been good at this. So let's look at AVAX USDC. So this is a decent candidate for one that, from a position standpoint, has done well. But I will say, with regards to CLMs, and I'm just saying this for people who have experience with this, being part of just the testing process of this for Beefy, I can tell you that I personally believe that CLM positions like this that are auto compounding, auto rebalancing are best on long assets that go up and to the right or stay flat. If you've got a chart that just nosedives and goes all over the place, your P&L is going to get wrecked. But if it's flat and it's going slowly and up and to the right over time, that's where stuff like this is just plain flat magic. AVAX hit $51. Oh, in December. I was like, they did? Never mind. I forgot I'm on a 1 year timeline. That's not the worst bet from here, honestly. So to grind this out all the way to Christmas, assuming the rate is between 200 and 500%, and it continues to do this and not go stupid, I don't mind that bet. But yeah, the beauty of daily compound interest is not, it's not about the rate. It's just about the time. And that's why it's so important that people are getting into DeFi. Why? Yeah, it's great to get moonshots, but stack your profits. So many, the word round tripping, oh, I'm hearing it everywhere, and it's just making me, it's giving me the ick. Please don't be someone who does that. I get it. Believe me, I get it. I've had several 1000Xs in my life, and I know the beauty of diamond handing something. And really just in there, you're really gonna stand firm. But I've also had my share of round trips, and it just eats at you. Things you don't definitely want to do. Now, Q4 is going to be very interesting, and we talked about this on Wednesday. Q4 is really going to be great for anyone who has been in the space for longer than a year. The reason being, let me see if I have it here. I don't. Well, we'll start with Meteora. So Meteora is having their TGE October 23rd. This will be good for our group, for a lot of other groups, a lot of other farmers who've been using Meteora for more than a year. Frankly, this is a long time coming. So we're going to eat pretty well on this airdrop. If you're a Jupe staker, like many of us in our group are, good eating, because you're going to get a really nice boost. MetaMask is coming out with a TGE. Our friends at Talisman Wallet is having one, and we've been farming that for a minute. Rabby talking about it. Rainbow definitely is. Phantom has been hinting at it again. So that's easy. OpenSea, another big one. And there's probably like 3 to 4 others that are going to have some type of token generation event or airdrop for you to farm. A lot of people right now are also farming. They're farming perp dexes. Aster. Regardless of how you feel about CZ, I mean, he pumped some life into this into this thing. 1001X is a really, I enjoyed watching people trade against each other with 1001X leverage. I know they did this in Singapore with 4 different perp dexes. I think this is going to continue and grow. I don't think we're going to see like, Kevin Moneymaker type of stuff with like Texas Hold'em, but we're going to see more and more people get kind of interested in this, especially younger people. Who doesn't want to feel the thrill of guessing right, call it that, with 1000X leverage, especially if you get staked for it and you have a penchant for trading, is what it is. But one thing that we love to do in DeFi is we love to profit off of traders. So keep doing what you're doing. We're going to keep profiting off of you. because we're all about benefiting off the behavior of other investors. And that's what we like to do in DeFi. There's really not a whole lot I can really say about this other than understand that this is something that's doable. We have multiple protocols that do this already. All you have to do is put the money in. For those people who are scared about DeFi, thinking that, it's funny money, but you're willing to pay it, you're willing to do this, your mindset's not right, guys. You should be. In fact, the majority of people in this industry that I know that do well, they're farming stable coins, guys. It's not out of the ordinary to want to take advantage. Not you. Of stablecoin yields that look ridiculous. Even at 40%. 33 here, but again, demand will change the way this looks, right? Overall, it's just a little nutty. Take advantage of it. If you're farming the MetaMask airdrop, make sure you're farming at Linea. If you don't like Beefy, check out VFAT. Great place to go. They have auto rebalancing, auto compounding. Let's look more at PancakeSwap. I'm curious. They're up 30%. I know why. We were trying to figure out why. And the reason is because they now have stock perps. This was something I figured that was going to happen at some point. But now you can actually get 25x leverage and trade perps on them. And for those who are not aware what a perp is in essence a DeFi option, except with perps, you don't have an expiration date on the option. You can either take a long or a short position with as much leverage as you like. You have to pay a funding fee. And it just depends on what it is per asset. It's either take a long or a short position. I wonder what they're using under the hood for this. I wonder if it's backed finance. Makes sense if it was. Let's see if I can find. Yeah. Let's go here. Boo. Never mind. Sorry, US people, you're going to have to go take a vacation to play along with the perps. It won't be that way forever, guys. If I have to say that. Yes, that's kind of where we're at right now. But we're in a situation where a lot of US crypto legislation is going to change the way that a lot of this looks. But yeah, getting into this now, understanding the idea, the fundamentals of DeFi is going to serve you really, really well going into May of 2026. And again, I keep using that example because we're going to get a new Fed chair in May of 2026. And they will absolutely be doing whatever President Trump wants them to do. Why? Because that's who he's going to be putting in. He's going to put in someone who's going to listen to him. Ironically, that is exactly what Chairman Powell is doing, listening to him, because he wanted to put in originally a Fed chair that is data driven. That was the argument when he brought in Chairman Powell back in 2018, right? He's doing what he's doing what he's supposed to do. So we're going to see a big boom, I think. Well, we're going to see a big boom this quarter. We're supposed to get possibly two more rate cuts as soon as this month. So within 2 weeks. So time is of the, I'm not going to say time is of the essence, but understanding and getting educated on this, guys, is probably something I would probably, think is a good thing to do. And to do that, you can join our free group. Let me get the banner going. Oh, it's slow. School.com/Beacon, guys. This is Total Value Locked from Beacon DeFi. Uh, this is our free group. We have a lot of free content on our co-founder, CEO Andrew. See the different paths that we have. My goodness, it's slow today. And we have we have plenty of free content. Check out our Introduction to DeFi course. Still holds up well. And then if you want more, you can certainly join our high net worth mastermind, the Beacon Mastermind. Or if you want to take the Beacon Challenge, earn your first dollar in DeFi within 48 hours, you can do that as well. We have links to all of that here. But we're a DeFi education group. Our goal is to maintain our position as the premium brand of DeFi education here in the space. We've helped tens of thousands of people learn how to get into DeFi safely and securely for the last 4.5 years. If this is not for you, I get it. You're in this space. You already know what you're doing. I actually want to learn more from your friends and family. So if you have people who are curious about DeFi, curious about crypto and how to make it work for them, please send them our way. We're absolutely happy to take care of them. We'll make sure they get in safely and securely. It's a promise from me. Okay. What else did I want to talk about today? Well, Token was this week, the largest crypto conference in the world. It's not a DeFi conference, which is why I don't always, which is honestly the reason why I've never really decided to want to go. I wanted to go this year because I'm doing more of trying to build my personal brand, going out there, being more of an actual influencer, not a shiller, because I guess shillers are just KOLs now, but an actual, trying to educate, trying to actually provide value to people. And there's just not a ton of DeFi. In fact, you go there, you'll find a whole bunch of people. They have no idea. They don't use Twitter. They don't really know much about crypto. They're just there to, I guess, socialize, enjoy the Singaporean heat, have good chicken and rice at the stalls. I don't know. But there's also a lot of products that are not necessarily DeFi either. They're like consumer facing mobile apps and stuff like that, or some really cool ideas like the newest thing in terms of DePIN or decentralized science or some of these other blockchain based or crypto adjacent technologies that you don't see. I don't know if this is a conference that everyone should want to go to just because it's so expensive to go to fly to Singapore, to stay in Singapore is not cheap. You may have a better time at ETH Denver. ETH Denver is a lot easier of an ask for a lot of people, especially here in the US. It's at the end of February. It's technically what we call the spiritual home of Beacon, because that's kind of where we decided to create Beacon from back in 2023. But there's a lot of interesting news that came out of this. And again, like I was mentioning, if I had to say if there's anything that's interesting about what came out, was just merely more of the affirmations. Sorry, I hit the mic. The affirmations of what we've already been talking about. Everything is coming on chain. Self-custody first, verify before trusting. Payments are coming on chain. It's going to be easier than ever to be able to send somebody money through a blockchain. That's great, right? Overall, yeah. I'll be very interested to see how institutions handle crypto, mainly because there's a lot of business to be done on chain. There's been a lot of testing being done on chain. You guys may not realize this, but companies like Visa, MasterCard, JP Morgan, as much as they poo-poo crypto publicly, have been building Onyx, which is now called Connexus, for the last 3 years, which is their version of blockchain for institutions. Go ahead and look it up. They understand, banks understand what the writing that's on the wall, right? Coinbase is out here saying, come and get 4.5% on your dollars. It's better. I'm like, we can do way better than that, but I can understand the messaging, because most people who are going to banks, they I think it's really a trust factor, just more of a brick and mortar type thing. They like the idea being able to hold money in their hands, but frankly, your money is losing 15% year over year due to inflation. So when people have that argument, I'm like, that's fine. But if you go and deposit your paycheck, most people do direct deposit now, right? The moment it hits the moment it hits your account, it's for the most part gone anyway. It's just a marker of how much money you have there. You still have to actually go. If you actually want the 10,000 in your hands, you're gonna have to actually go to a bank branch, and they may or may not have it in the vault. They may or may not want to give it to you that day. And frankly, they don't have to, which is kind of the worst part about it all, right? So being able to be in control of your finances, self custody, you have the freedom to go wherever you want with your money. You don't if you want to take out a loan, you don't have to worry about going to a brick and mortar location, showing your face, giving your social security number, credit check, checking your income. You just have to have collateral that you can borrow against it. Simple as that. You should have that freedom, guys. You absolutely should. Have a uh, great comment here from Greatness. DeFi isn't about hype anymore. It's about interoperability, efficiency, and capital flow. That's absolutely right. We're moving into a new stage of DeFi where interoperability is king. All of the work that's been done over the last 2 years is now showing its head in DeFi. We have cross-chain vaults. I can go to Jupiter Lend and come and earn. Well, it's 7.5%, but if we do the multiplier, we're doing on a leverage. Let's say 29% roughly. But a lot of these loops and specific positions that they want you to consider, pardon me, they're cross-chain because they're partnered with Fluid Instadap on this. So they're actually going over to Ethereum and having access to all that liquidity. Base at Basecamp 2 weeks ago mentioned they've built a bridge for Sol and for Solana and Base developers to be able to have access to both SPL and ERC20 tokens. That may go over your head, but that's such a cool thing that they've been able to give. It's a gift. Let's be honest, it's a gift that they're hoping to drive people in both directions, right? I think it's fine. I'm not like a Sol homer. I'm not a Base homer either. I just like DeFi. I want to be able to go where the best rates are, and I want to be able to have the access to do it easily. Thank God the days of me waiting 14 hours for a bridge to Solana are done. I missed the Mad Lads mint. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be angry about this anymore, and I'm not. It is what it is. Because I tried to bridge using Wormhole from Arbitrum to Solana. It took 14 hours. Didn't happen. I could have got in. I would. It's interesting. I've thought about how different would my life be if I had a Mad Lads right now. From mint. Granted, it's what I think that's like 50 sol floor now or something like that. Regardless, it's not that. It's more just about I'm so happy that the tech is so much better. I have a cat here. Hi. There's a lot going on in DeFi. And honestly, the hardest part about right now, guys, is there's my cat behind me, is frankly choosing. And I totally understand that conundrum. There's my cat behind me right there. He's quite lonely because the rest of my family's not here. But yeah, choosing is going to be the hard part. And that's fine. I love the fact that there's choice. There didn't used to be choice. It was either Aave or nothing for a long time. Now we've got Aave. Now we've got Instadap. We've got Euler, Morpho, Gearbox, a whole bunch of other protocols that he's going to kill my set. Regardless, the choice out there to just get started, to really just get in, it's gotten so much better. Where is the Stripe? Has made it so much easier to get on chain now, thanks to what they've done with Bridge. It's with Use Cash. Let me bring that back up. The internet's watching. Stop it. Watch me get clipped for that. Anyway, Cash is from Phantom. They partnered with doing open issuance with Bridge, which is from Stripe, to come out with this. They call it a neutral stablecoin. And what I like about that is that they're trying to create a good stablecoin that's meant for DeFi, which is fine. Hi, stop. Why he never talks to me, so I don't know why he's up here. Come on. Okay. MetaMask recently came out with MUSD, which is their coin with M0. And it's very similar with regards to what that's going to look like. You're going to kill my vibe, cat, because you're digging your claws into me. Gosh. Trying to beat the banks here, brother. This never happens. I don't understand. You're a silly boy, buddy. Silly boy. Anyway. So yeah, using Cash is going to be interesting. There's been more than one Cash on Solana, by the way. There's one that we don't really want it from Saber, from the guys who created Saber. Was it Sunny or Saber? One of the two. There was an LP version where you deposited USDC, USDT. If you're an OG, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That rugged pretty hard, but this version of Cash should be quite interesting. You can become a Cash contributor. Ooh, I have to give information. Pass. Anyway, Q4 is going to be very interesting. There's going to be a lot of new things coming, and like I keep being a broken record. This is a great time to be in DeFi. Stablecoin farming is ridiculous. Frankly, the trenches are kind of dry. And if you made profits, great. There's way too many weird things happening with internet capital markets, creator capital markets, token capital markets, launch pads. I mean, Plasma, the stablecoin focused, I'm not gonna say only, stablecoin focused blockchain from Bitfinex launched last week. And in my group chats, I'm seeing all kinds of people thinking about, launching some meme coin launch pads. And I'm just like, the degeneracy is never going to end. That's fine, because that's what brings people to a lot of blockchains, right? That's the oil of this. NFTs and degen coins, meme coins. They'll always be a part of what we have here. Are the days of like Pump.Fun ruling everything kind of over? To a degree, yeah, because they're not doing 15,000 new tokens a day anymore. Multiply that by 3 or 4 different blockchains where you have multiple tokens coming out, and it's really tough. And looking at the market, everyone's been chopped to death half the year. Stable coins have become the new premium. It's kind of a weird cyclical thing, to be honest. But with more risk on assets coming on, it's not a good time. I mean, it's a great time, rather, to go out, come up with a great Just a great plan to move forward in this space. That's all I really got for you guys today. I was going to talk about the magic of daily compound interest for like 20 minutes, and it's like, what can I really say? Show the picture. Yes, you can get daily compounding interest at a lot of different protocols. We just looked at Camino. That's daily compounding interest for stuff like this. What are the rewards today? Yeah, we were just there. Same thing with Euler Earn, Morpho Earn, all of these different, what we call DeFi savings accounts. We had a show on this September or August 15th. I think it's August 15th. Check out that version of Beat the Banks if you want to learn more about those. If you've got $100, $500 sitting around, why wouldn't you put money in something like this? You know? Even if it's just for the idea of earning some extra money that you take out in 60 days when it's time to go buy Christmas gifts. Most CDs, I'm going to put, I don't feel good about putting my blank on my credit union on blast. CDs, 10-month, 4.15%. With a $50, it's fine, 50, whatever. 3-month rates with 100K down, 1.50%. Please tell me why that is better than this. Any of this. These are stable coins also. Yeah, you have to jump through a couple hoops to get there in the beginning, but once you're onboarded, you're in. $500, 60 days. Go out and get way better than 1.5%. Simple as that. That's my pledge. Come out and give it a try. Join our free group, school.com/beacon. If you want some free information on how to get started with that, you can reach out to me if you want. I do multiple live streams per week. I know people in the chat are asking me about a React live stream. We'll do that later on today. But the next 60 days for Christmas, think about your loved ones. Think about the number of PS2s you can buy. Earning 40. I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. But understand the potential of what's here in DeFi. Get started, guys. That's all I'm asking. I'm not, yes, it takes money to make money, but when making money literally is above 20% on your money, it's not hard to think about. It's not a hard decision. If you have a problem saving money, I get it. But set one of these up, literally put money in over the year. I know we have members in our group who literally farm stable coins around that 15 to 17% rate, around there. And they use that to pay taxes every year. We had a member who literally paid for his daughter's wedding. It's right there. It's right there. Paid for his daughter's wedding with stablecoin profits. Anyway, check it out. I can tell you as someone who's been in this space since 2019, there's no better time to join than now. Really, because we're at the start of Q4, everything's on the way up. You can also even accumulate your favorite altcoins on the way there. Get started on your wealth plan, guys. Get an all-weather portfolio. You want to know what that is? Join our free group. You can have one for yourself. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend. 07, we say here. Beacons up. Banks down. Keep beating those banks, guys. We'll see you next week.